Let me fix a couple of things real quick. Alright, I believe that is everything. Alright. Hello everybody, welcome back to Mindsight Games. My name is N-Sight, and today we're going to be playing... Whoa, mic is in the wrong place. There we go. Hello everybody, my name is N-Sight. Welcome back to Mindsight Games. My name is... Why am I getting all flustered now, of all things? Today we're here to play a little Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild on the Nintendo Switch. I have a new profile set. We're gonna start a new game and kick things off. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Wake up, Link.
Again, such a beautiful game. Let's go ahead and go to the first terminal.
That is a Sheikah slate. Take it. It will help guide you after your long slumber.
We got the Sheikah Slate. Essentially, this is your Switch console. References to real life. Let's just say, if you have the master version, if you have the master edition or the special edition, you have a case for your Switch that makes it look like this. It's awesome. Anyway, a few things to point out. Of course, we're nude, so... I was hoping it would show it there. Let's go ahead. Nope, okay. It didn't show it there. We are nude, so we have 0 armor. We get the old shirt and the well-worn trousers. These are your primary gear. Cannot be upgraded in any way, shape, or form. Doesn't really matter at this point.
Hold the Sheikah slate up to the pedestal. That will show you the way.
Oh. I'm not gonna go further because of copyright reasons. That's all I could afford.
Link, you are the light. Our light. That must shine upon Hyrule once again. Now go.
And our introduction to all things tutorial, we now have introduction to jump and sprint. Jump, let go, everything. Let us step out into the open air of Hyrule. And cue... Who's that old man? We'll find out at the end of the Great Plateau. Starting things off! As soon as you exit, you can pick up a tree branch. This is a rudimentary weapon, and you can attack using the Y button. This is one of, if not the, weakest weapon in the game. At least out here. Hylian shrooms are found all over the place. You can climb this ledge right here, find more Hylian shrooms. You're welcome to explore wherever. They give you another tree branch over here. You can change weapons pretty quickly. It shows you on the left side of the hub what you can change. You can whistle with down on the D-pad. I prefer using the Joy-Cons, which is why I'm using them. But I'm using them in the comfort grip they give you with the system, so I'm probably 1/8 of a step ahead. If you're willing to explore your climbing abilities, you can climb and get an apple. Or 2. Drop down and then come back up this way, and you can get a 3rd if you time your jump right, I think. Oh, well, you could do that too. Okay. Talk to this old man, or pick up his apple, whatever you want to do, or you could grab the torch, one of the 3. I'm going to pick up his apple first. A baked apple.
I beg your pardon. I do believe that is my baked apple. You can't just go about taking whatever you please. Oh, forgive me. I could not resist pulling your leg. Please help yourself. An apple and an open flame make for a succulent treat. It is a bit strange to see another soul in these parts.
What he was saying is essentially, if you find meat, apples, fish, and you put them over an open flame, they will cook. So we're gonna say, who are you?
Me? I'll spare you my life story. I'm just an old fool who has lived here alone for quite some time now. What brings a bright-eyed young man like you to a place like this?
Where are we?
Answering a question with a question, that is fair enough. As I cannot imagine our meeting to be a simple coincidence, I shall tell you. This is the Great Plateau. According to legend, this is the birthplace of the entire kingdom of Hyrule.
Looking out over the Great Plateau, we see something.
That temple there, long ago, it was the site of many sacred ceremonies. Ever since the decline of the kingdom 100 years ago, it sat abandoned, left to decay. Yet another forgotten entity, a mere ghost of its former self.
You have a couple other things you can do to interact with the guy. You could have talked to him directly and then picked up the apple.
Well then, just help yourself to that torch there. And how, may I ask, are you planning to use it?
It's the first option we have to choose as a weapon to set things afire. Different weapons, like more than 3 choices. I'm going to choose as a weapon.
Innovative. However, that is probably best used to light fires. If you need a weapon, you can find something better. Maybe roam the land past this point. You can take my axe with you if you please, assuming you can find it. However, do not just swing it around without purpose. You must face your opponents and lock your sights on them.
If you ever forget what locking on is, this will tell you, and you can go into your menu, go over to System, Ability Controls, and any info that you come across later on, at least tutorial-wise, you can learn later. I'm going to go ahead and equip the torch. Light it. Come over here to show you, yes, you can actually light fires with that. I'm going to go ahead and put my torch away. And what's this? A woodcutter's axe. This one is one of many. You cannot return here and pick up another woodcutter's axe, but you can return to other places later on down the road and pick up other ones. This is best used for what else? Cutting trees! And you can pick up apples like that. When you cut a tree, it usually takes 2 swings of a woodcutter's axe, a big swing from a heavier weapon, etc. You will need to chop the tree one more time in order to get wood. Doesn't matter how many times it took you to chop down the tree, you will need to chop it one more time to get a long chunk of wood. And we're getting the cutscene.
Link. Head for the point marked on the map in your Sheikah slate.
Checking the Sheikah slate is designated to the select button on the Wii U and the minus button on the Switch. I almost said PS4 there for a second. I was like, wait, what? That's not the right console. This is a Nintendo console. We ain't going with Sony. We can choose to ignore that and explore elsewhere, but I'm gonna follow it for the heck of following it. We do not have shields or bows, so I will not be working with that. Tree branch is badly damaged. Your tree branch broke. The tree branch is the worst weapon to have. It will break after 4 hits. Bokoblin horn. You can use those to make elixirs. As you can tell, that was a Bokoblin. They have taken on quite the appearance this time. I am not going to go over every enemy, but I will go over any enemies that we come across in the game. So, take. Come on. Can jump and grab the apples as well. You don't have to chop down every tree. This right here, a lot of people would like to call this a choo-choo. In fact, it is a blue choo-choo, and they drop choo-choo jelly. There are other colors of choo-choos, but choo-choo jelly itself, the blue variation, is only found from regular choo-choos. If you hit choo-choos with an elemental attack, they will change the color of their choo-choo jelly sometimes, based on what type of attack you hit them with. I will go into that in greater detail later when we get to that part. Hyrule Herb. I honestly did not know it was there, but we're getting into it now. 2 bokoblins over near a fire. I will come back to them. I will not talk to them, do anything of that sort. There is these 2 on the ledge here, and I do want to engage with them, but not from this angle. I will show you the easiest way to take them out without drawing attention to yourself, and with getting the upper hand on them. What you'll want to do is stay as far away as you can and come up this side of the range. And when you get the opportunity, crouch down and go closer. It covers, you see that purple wavelength down in the bottom right side of the screen? That's your stealth meter, how much noise you are making. If it is low, you're making relatively little noise. Oh, and he spotted me. I am going to grab my woodcutter's axe. Chop you. Both of these are archers. They are carrying bows. If you run up and grab them, Boko Bow. It is one of, but not the, weakest bow you can find. I have found weaker bows, and I prefer not to use them. Sometimes they will drop arrows, which you will need them coming up. I'm going to attack you now. Boom. Get your Boko Bow in case mine breaks. You can switch bows while you are using them. There we go. You die, give me your horn, and a Bokoblin Fang. Those are the other 2 that you can get from red Bokoblins. Other color of Bokoblin, you may get the Bokoblin Guts, which we will probably get later on down the road. Or I know we will get later on down the road, because I plan on upgrading a certain bit of gear later on down the road. You can use certain weapons to knock shields out of their hands, and speaking of, we have the Boko shield. Raise your shield when you're locking on to someone, and you can use it that way. What I just did was a flurry rush. If you dodge using X at the right time, you can wail in with multiple attacks at once. This guy had 5 arrows on him. He's not an archer, I don't know why. A Traveler's Sword. This is one of the better starting weapons you can get. I'm going to go ahead and equip it. And we're going to go ahead and head for the point marked on the Sheikah Slate, which we are here already. I guess you can see why I decided to ignore the ones near the fire. I will come back to those later. It's not that big a deal. But what we need to do is we need to put our Sheikah Slate on here. The cutscene will do so automatically. We will have multiple points where we will take care of that here, there, and everywhere. It will activate Sheikah Towers, it'll activate Sheikah Shrines, and other things of the like. Tower right here, however, triggers a cutscene! We have awakened all of the towers in the region, but we can only use one. Now, for right now, this one is going to give us the map data of the Great Plateau. I am planning on completing this here and now in this session. If you have any questions about them, please leave them in the chat. I will get that up and running in a second, so that I can answer any and all questions you have on the chat. If you leave them in the YouTube video when this gets uploaded to YouTube, this will come in handy a lot over our adventure. Or at least the map will.
Try to remember. You have been asleep for the past 100 years. The beast. When the beast regains its true power, this world will face its end.
If you are into speedrunning, this is the first quest that you always complete. There are 3 quests you always complete if you're going for an any % completion. And for this completion, there is... and for this completion that I'm doing 100% completion. I will be doing every single main story quest, every side quest, getting every shrine, every Korok seed, etc. I will be doing everything. I'll do it all. For the sake of knowledge! Or whatever. I'm going to go around this side.
My, it would seem we have quite the enigma here. This tower and others like it have erupted across the land, one after another. It's almost as though a long dormant power has awoken quite suddenly. If you do not mind me asking, did anything odd occur while you were at the top of that tower?
I heard a voice.
Well now, a voice you say? And did you happen to recognize this mysterious voice?
No.
I see. Well, that is unfortunate. I assume you caught sight of that atrocity enshrouding for a century the very symbol of our kingdom. Hyrule Castle has barely managed to contain its evil.
Ugh, jeez. Man, I'm having a stroke here.
But just barely. There it festers, building its strength for the moment, while it will unleash its blight upon the land once again. It would appear that moment is fast approaching. I must ask you, courageous one, do you intend to make your way to the castle?
I do! I very much do.
I had a feeling you would say that. Here on this isolated plateau, we are surrounded on all sides by steep cliffs, with no way down.
It is true! We cannot drop to the ground below, even though there is nothing between the ground and the wall.
If you were to try to jump off, well, no death would be more certain, or more foolish. Of course, if you had a paraglider like mine, that would be another story.
Paraglider. I do want to go polite in this. There's a specific reason why I do not say hand it over.
Oh, piqued your interest, have I? Yes, I didn't come soaring down here on my own feathery wings, you know. Worry not, I will happily agree to give you my paraglider, but not for nothing. Let me see now. How about I trade?
You do not need to talk to him. He will show you, essentially, that shrine right there has awoken. I do want to show you something real quick. There's a pond, and there are fish in the pond. You will need some Hyrule bass at some point. That's what these are. My suggestion to you, grab some! They are delightful little fish, and you can find them nearly everywhere in Hyrule, where bass can be found at least. There are a few other types of fish here and there that have different effects when cooked. Hyrule bass is the main fish that I do want to call attention to right now. We are going to go to the Sheik Shrine right now. Man. Just this game in general, I love it. Like, this is one of those games that it immediately had my heart. I have tried to do a speedrun of this, and I failed miserably. I will be trying again after this whole walkthrough is finished, but not until after that fact. Let's go ahead and activate the Omen Owl Shrine. Travel gate registered to map. Access granted. Do not know why I didn't do the first just yet, but I will draw attention. I'll draw attention to this at least. If you can zoom out the map, this is the entire map of Hyrule. All the little lines are the divisions between the different segments. If you zoom in all the way, you can see it's very detailed. It's not just a topographical map, it also has outlines of stairs. It has different trees here and there. The Omen Owl Shrine right now, if you were to come across it but not activate it on your map, it would be completely orange. Right now, the inside is orange, but the outside is blue. I can travel here, but I have not gotten what's inside. Once you've gotten everything inside, or at least gotten the spirit orb inside, spoilers, you will completely get... it will entirely fill in as blue. Tips and tricks. Check this screen for additional hints that will aid you on your journey. The adventurous heart must never... okay.
To you who sets foot in the shrine, I am Omen O. In the name of the goddess Hylia, I offer up the Magnesis Trial!
It sounded kind of epic in my head, and whenever I popped into another shrine, I would say it like that. Sheikah Slate authenticated. Distilling runes. What it does is it unlocks a different rune. Magnesis is the one for this trial. You're expected to do this one first. Really, you can do any 4 of them in any order you want. You don't have to do this one first, but I'm going according to which one other people might use. If you'll notice, Magnesis mode has a red outline on the ground and other objects, and some of them are highlighted in a deep red. You can lift them and move them just like that by latching on with A. And it doesn't matter if you grab both, but you can grab one or the other. I'm going to go ahead and descend the ladder. Boom. If you're climbing up a ladder, it does not take away your stamina. If you decide to jump up a ladder, it will take your stamina. I think that's everything. Alright. Let's go ahead and grab this. I'm then going to try and slide the top box out from... Come on. No! No! Okay. You big meanie. I'm going to place this here. There is a chest. I think... I don't remember. No, there's not. Okay. That right there! Guardian Scout 1! Screw! You can get ancient parts from decayed Guardians. You can get them from Guardian Scouts in dungeons. And you can get them from... Well, you can get them from a lot of places. This right here... I find it easier if you move this one over here. Because you can swim back to the other platform. There are other ways to do this dungeon. You do not have to do what I'm doing. I'd say experiment around. See what you can do. Drop this down here. Open it up. Click, click, boom, boom. And the Traveler's Bow. I'm going to stick with the Boko Bow until it breaks, though. We're going to open this. Slide it out of the way. I do want to draw attention to this, though. There is at least one treasure chest in every single shrine out there, and there are over 100 shrines out there, not including the ones on, not even including the ones on the plateau. You will always get one random chest. You have proven yourself, proven to possess the resolve of a true hero. Oh, I got really weird on that one. I am Oban Ao, creator of this trial. I am a humble monk, blessed with the sight of the goddess Hylia, and dedicated to helping those who seek to defeat Ganon. With your arrival, my duty is not... Okay, fine. You're not gonna really make me... You're not really gonna make me take it in, right? Oh, you are. Jeez. I didn't even... That was completely impromptu. I didn't know he was gonna be so mad face when that happened.
May the goddess smile upon you.
I promise I'll find a better voice for that. I'm sorry. You can skip through every single one of those scenes by pressing X. You do not have to watch any of them. That is good to some degree. For those of you who have said, I've put the 2-hour mark on this session as a temporary point. I may put one for longer. Regardless... Oh!
Here he comes, Santa Claus! It seems you managed to get your hands on a spirit orb! Well done!
How did you know?
Clairvoyance! Or perhaps just something similar. As one gets older, it can become more difficult to see what is right before one's own eyes. However, that which was once hidden from view can often be crystal clear. But perhaps it's not true for everyone. Whoa! The appearance of those towers and the awakening of this shrine. It's all connected to that Sheikah slate you carry on your hip.
What do you mean?
It has been quite some time since I have seen that Sheikah slate. Long ago, a highly advanced tribe known as the Sheikah inhabited these lands. The great power of their wisdom saved this kingdom time and time again. But the rich time hidden away in a shrine. These shrines are tucked away in numerous places all across this land. On this plateau, I believe there are still 3 more. Bring me the treasure from each of the shrines, and I will give you the paraglider.
So you can be snooty and say that wasn't the deal. Or you could say, so I need more now, question mark.
I said treasure, but I never said there would only be one treasure.
That's true. He didn't say there'd only be one. He said bring me some treasure from the shrines.
Whether it's one treasure or 4, what's the difference for a young go-getter like yourself? Since I'm feeling generous, I will teach you a trick for finding shrines. It's always best to survey the area by looking from a high point. Let's see here. How about you make your way to the top of that tower?
Got it.
I admire your eagerness, but allow me to teach you something else before you go. Take a look at the map on your Sheikah slate.
I have done so twice now.
See those blue icons? You should recognize the cave where you awoke, the shrine you came from, and the tower. You can travel instantly to any of those places with the Sheikah slate. Or so I heard quite some time ago. I do not know if it actually works as such.
What he is talking about is, I will not be getting every single chest in the game, but I will show you some early chests that you can get immediately, and what it's like, and what you can do to get every single armor in the game. Opal! Very valuable. It is very helpful. What you can do is you can use magnesis to get metal chests, big metal boxes, and other things into the air or out of the water, and in the boxes like these, when they hit at a high enough velocity, will break upon impact. I've also heard that if you stack them and you drop them, that they will work that way. Sometimes it's easier to work with elsewhere. Amber! A fossilized resin. Pretty easy to work with. I'm going to go ahead and carry this with me to show you something amazing! Or maybe not amazing, but interesting. Do you see that guardian down there? Doesn't have legs? Anything like that? Well, there are a couple of things you can do with it. First, you can search it, which I will before... You know what? I'm gonna push it over there. Drop it there. I'm gonna drop it there. Jump over here. It's taken a little too long for my liking, so I'm gonna take care of it. Outside of searching, you will not have to say the same thing again. So, ancient screw, and we have something else. An ancient shaft. These things are very, very worth your time. They count as monster parts, and they also count as very valuable items. You will want to pick up any ancient parts that you'll find around. Guardians will always have them on them if you defeat them, or if you simply find a way to take care of them that way. I am going to teleport now to the Great Plateau Tower. And if we had the camera pan the right way, we could see that the old man is still in front of the shrine there. I'm not going to talk to the old man up here. He is instead going to say the exact same things that I'm going to be telling you here. You do not need to worry about what he says at all whatsoever, but if you want to, there's a little bit of banter that you can take care of right then and there. Instead, I'm going to go over here, and if I click in the right stick, it opens up the Sheikah slate in search mode, or whatever mode this is. And I can look into the distance and see different things. The shrine over here that is on the plateau. Boop! I just set a pin, and I can edit that pin from the map itself. You can turn pins into stamps and vice versa. So I'm going to do one more thing aside from mark all the shrines. There is one shrine over here. Boop! There's the blue. Where's the other one? There it is. And that one right there. This shrine... but I'm going to go into the map, change the pin. You can change it to any of these. Personally, whenever I am looking in my main profile and I find a shrine, I put a treasure chest on it. Why? Well, it has treasure chests inside of it, and it's somewhere I've got to be, and something along those lines. I use these for whenever I want to find enemies. These will represent Koroks that you haven't been able to get, but there's an area right there. These you can do mining zones, whatever you want. Stars are just really important. Cooking pots and such, you can do that. A shield, a bow, or a sword can represent a weapon. I am not going to change that pin. Instead, looking at the Omen Owl Shrine, there is a little treasure chest mark right next to it. It means I have gotten every single chest in the trial area, in that shrine. I am not going to be able to do this for all shrines, because sometimes I will have a really good weapon that I do not want to let go of in favor of the smaller weapons, etc. That kind of thing. We'll be going over every shrine, what is in every chest, how to get every chest, etc. We will not be going over them in any specific order, but we will be going over them in good time. We'll be going over them by region, though, so if you're in the neighborhood, that's how. You can jump with the X button, you can run with the B button. A, if you are in lock-on mode, is your shield bash. It is also picking up anything. If you draw your sword, boom. That is because it makes things a lot easier. You don't have to take my word for it, but you can if you want to. Right here, I am at the green, or I'm at where the green pin was. There are 2 moblins down there. If you push this rock right here off, just off, it hits large explosive barrels that were down here at the bottom, and it kills both of those bokoblins. You can grab the horn, and the fang, and the horn that they drop. It will be random on the materials. Grabbing the Boko Club, which is not as good as the Traveler's Sword, but I feel it is a better weapon than a Traveler's Sword for a couple of things. Seared Steak will always be here when you see bokoblins here. The barrel itself, you can bust apart. Inside you will find... Well, it's always random if you find something. But this time I found a Hylian Shroom. For archery, well, hang on. So R is throwing your weapon. Archery, ZR, the trigger. I prefer to have my bow out when I'm ready to fire. I'm going to take care of this. Once he turns the other way, I will focus in on him and hit him down, if I can. Come on this way, buddy. Turn this way. This thing is not very powerful, so I do want to show off the one trick I have. Come on. If you hit the head, you do a critical hit. Not my main profile, at least. While you're crouching, you can jump ahead. It does help you get forward faster, but it does not help you all the time in sneaking by. You still make a little bit of noise here and there. I am going to take them on with my sword. Right here. Okay. Do they hear me? No? Okay, good. Now I'm going to get up here. Boop, boop, boop. Alright, that bat is going to follow me, isn't it? Come on, Keese! New enemy! Keese! Boom. If you're wondering the names on this new enemy coming up, look no further. There is one new enemy in here that I do want to draw attention to, but in order to weaken him, the easiest thing to do is to cut the rope on this lantern right here with an arrow. There are explosive barrels inside, it will hit it. You see the health bar has dropped a little. Doosh, doosh, doom, doom. This is a blue bokoblin. I am going to call him bokoblin, alright? That's how I'm going to leave it. On it. So that bokoblin, boko bow, boom, boom, that sort of thing. And as you can see, my bows have filled up the inventory spaces. Fire arrows! These will automatically blow up explosive barrels if you fire them into them. It will also melt ice. Those are essentially the limitations of them. I will not be using them very often, or I will not be using elemental arrows unless I have more of them than regular arrows, or it's a specific way to defeat an enemy. That's the main reason why I'll be taking care of those. I do want to bring attention to them later, and it'll be easy. I'll have a few strategies here and there for defeating different types of enemies, including what's coming up right now. Do I have another... I only have one Boko shield, so if this goes badly, I'm not going... Okay, not this enemy. But there's another enemy coming up that I do want to address when it comes to that point. The Bokoblin Arm is a new type of weapon. It is very weak, both in terms of power and in terms of all I have right now are sword-based, with the exception of the Woodcutter's Axe. It is an axe-based weapon. There are a few different types of weapons in the game. There are axe-based, lance-based, sword-based. There is a longsword-based weapon in the game. I will get into that when I get to it. This right here! Guardian! Wingardium Leviosa! One shot from this beam and you are dead in this mode. But if you time your deflection with a perfect guard, it will revert the beam back to it. It does 500 damage, which is why it one-shots every stationary Guardian. You see that little updraft there? We will get into that later, but not right now. If we go this way, there will be another Guardian, and he will be guarding... he will be guarding the next shrine that we need to take care of. It is really hard without the sound cue. Oh, shoot! Nope, 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 nope. No means no. No means no. Your stamina... oh. Hang on. Boom. I wanted to show just how quickly the Bokoblin arms would break. They are better than the... tree branches, which is why I'm going to grab one. But they are not the best weapon that you can have. So we have a new shrine. It does not have the activation message for every single one of them. But it does have a few things here and there. It does have the same animation we just saw for every shrine after this, after the first one. And now we enter the second shrine.
To you who sets foot in this shrine, I am Jabaij. In the name of the goddess Hylia, I offer up the Bomb Trial. This is one of, if not the, best power-ups in the game. It does get upgraded later to be even better, but it is one of the most useful, and it is one of my favorite runes. Or two of my favorite runes. Say hello to my little friends, the bomb runes. The remote bomb runes. They detonate remotely. Yeah, what'd you expect from a name Remote Bomb? Regardless, you can switch runes quickly by pressing and holding up on the control. Not roll. It stays in place. So I can throw it. Boom. It stays like that. Boosh. You can throw both at the same time and have them both out at the same time. I have done this a couple of times. The Traveler's Claymore is the weapon in this chest. What weapon can I leave? I'm gonna drop you. There we go. The Traveler's Claymore is another axe-based weapon. What I mean by axe, or two-handed weapon, that's essentially what it is. Two-handed weapons are different from most, or most other swords. So, swords, for example, their charge attacks do a spin attack. Boosh. Their standard attack, boom, 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 before the knockback. Claymores. 1, 2, before the knockback. And they have a spinning charge attack that ends in... Well, let me just go ahead and show that off as well. That ends in a downward strike that creates a shockwave. Every single time you hit someone while spinning at that time, you do more damage to them in that capacity. Bombs, you can drop them and then run away before you detonate them. If you do not want to be in the blast radius, it will do damage to you. It will not necessarily KO you immediately, but it will do damage to you. So, remote bomb, I want to throw this one. It stays on the platform, boosh!
You can climb on some surfaces, but not so much in this dungeon-based setting. Inside Trials, there's not a lot that you can climb on, unless it here, boosh, drops the bomb on there, and you can explode it there. Easiest way to go. Now, you see this orb being launched between these two platforms right here, bouncing back and forth between the two moving platforms? Believe it or not, that is giving you a hint on how to get to this chest. You want to stand on here and get launched over to this other side. You do not have to move while it is doing that. It is recommended you do not move while that is happening. You go over here. Amber! That is the second treasure chest in here, and we now have them all. The shrine, when we exit, will have... Or at least that... Yep, it does. That is the treasure chest symbol on the side of the shrine's name. There we go. You climb up the ladder. Jump up the ladder, it uses a bit of stamina. Rush this way. Bibbidi boppity booyah. Here we are. I don't know why I got caught on the stairs here. From here on out, here's what they will say. Your resourcefulness in overcoming this trial speaks to the promise of a hero. In the name of the goddess Hylia, I bestow upon you this spirit orb. From now on, this is the message you will get from most of, but not all of the Guardians. We will go into that later in terms of types of shrines once we get to it. That is our second spirit orb. Gaining 4, we'll have something fun restored. Whenever you get a spirit orb, you will be restocked on all of the hearts that you have. I would say to do outside of that is find some good food from somewhere. You destroy that area right there. It's showing us that once again you can use the bombs outside of to get progression here and there. I'm going to try this again. Wait for it. Boom! Thank you very much, Guardian. You have been a very good treasurer here. We now have the ancient gear. Oh, I've gotten more. Okay, never mind. So we now have 4 parts. Unfortunately, on the Great Plateau, we do not have any crawlers, so those are the only 4 types of ancient parts that we can get. Your shield does not break when you do a perfect guard. So it will be perfect for taking these out. Okay. I believe... No. Green rupee! First rupee ever! I kid you not, I went through the entire Great Plateau adventure without getting a single rupee. I did not know that you could grab rupees underneath rocks until way later in the game. Those are the currency, as they always are, and you know what to do whenever you find rupees. There's another Guardian on this Great Plateau, in this Great Plateau area that you can defeat. I will not be taking care of it right now. I may take care of it later, but that's pretty much all we have. You can exchange those Guardian parts for rupees, or you can go somewhere else and those as an exchange in currency, though. If we see there's another Bokoblin camp over here, and there's something off in the distance. If you take a look through the Sheikah Slate, I'm going to put a token right there. See, it's a beehive, a hornet's nest, whatever you want to call it. But those are courser bees. It is a tactic that you may want to use if you shoot down that and hide behind the barrel. That Bokoblin, both, will run away with the bees on their tail. That leaves you open to take care of the other one as you so please. This Bokoblin's coming up on me. I'm going to go ahead and... Now my Traveler's Sword is badly damaged. A couple more swings and it breaks. Right on time though. Because they left their weapons! Another Boko shield. I can change shields by holding this button and moving sideways. Pretty much that's it. A Boko club. A Boko bow. But I'm out of bow storage space. What do I do? Of course you can go in and drop another bow. But, I'm really not into it. If you shoot down a courser bee hive, you can get courser bee honey once the bees run away far enough. I believe that is everything in that segment. I am going to go over here real quick. I gave myself a 2-hour time limit on this, and I'm nearing the 1-hour mark. So, over here, there is a pot lid, the worst shield in the game. The absolute worst shield in the game. I'm going to go ahead and equip it for the heck of equipping it. If you go in here, this is the old man's house. He has a woodcutter's axe here. It will respawn every time you come back here. Spicy peppers, which will also respawn every time you come back here. In the corner, he has a baked apple and a stamina shroom. I do not remember if those respawn all the time, but you do want to address the diary. Read it.
On this desolate plateau, the only pleasure that brings me comfort is cooking. And today I outdid myself. Truly I created the perfect dish. I call it spicy meat and seafood fry. The recipe not only restores health, but it also keeps me warm, even when traveling through the snowy mountains.
We do want to remember this passage for later.
With this dish on my side, I no longer have need of that itchy warm doublet.
He has a scripture, if you will.
I do not know how I allowed this to happen, but it seems I forgot to write down a very important recipe. I know it contained raw meat and spicy pepper. However, I simply cannot remember what else I used. My age is catching up to me. Sadly, on this lonely plateau, I have only my own knowledge and memory to rely on. Still, if I did find someone who knew...
Over here, they may drop a spicy pepper. I believe there are some pots that drop specific items, including that one. At nighttime, meaning 9 o'clock or later, the old man will be here at the fire. We do want to remember that part at least. The meat he is talking about is wild game. The same thing that creates seared steak. We do want to remember that. I'm going to use a tactic. We see a farmer's pitchfork, which is our second example of a lance-based weapon, but I have not picked up the other one. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up our lance-based weapon. I'm going to hide in a barrel. Move over this way. Take a look. Put Coblin over there. Once he turns around, come on, turn around. It does take a moment to turn around. I'm going to get behind this rock. Oh boy, come on. He has specific points that he switches between, and it's on a regular interval. There we go. Drop that. Right through the heart. Dead in the water. I think that's gonna do.
You get a fork to the butt. You get a fork to the face. And your other brother got a fork to the butt.
That triggers our second chest. There's one more on the Great Plateau, I believe. Maybe two. I do not remember if one segment up at the top has another chest, but I will be checking. If you see that, there is a coarser honey nest inside. The bees are now trapped inside as well, which is a good thing. I believe they are trapped inside. You can take them down. You can essentially run from them for a certain bit. Farmer's pitchfork badly damaged. I want to switch to this. You can cut them apart like that. There's a chest in here. What does it contain? Bomb arrows! Those are very helpful later in the game on certain enemies, and they are... I want to say what they're used for later, but I'm not going to. Boko Shield. I now have 3 of those. They are going to be very helpful. Get another seared steak from the fire. Boom, boom, boom. If you'll notice, there are a few infinite pages, if you will. materials page, which has every edible, alchemizable material in here. If you take wood, drop it, and then light it on fire, it does become a campfire. Seared steak and a baked apple are our 2 food items. This is anything that cannot be alchemized and can only be eaten, cannot be dropped. Equipment, essentially, that's your shirt, pants, everything, that sort of thing. Throwing spear! Our inventory is full, though. I am going to drop this because I get a lot of those. I'm going to equip this, technically, and show off our set. Regardless, there are a couple of ways to reach that specific shrine up there. I'm not going to be taking them. Instead, I'm going to be taking the long way around, because the long way around is a little easier to work with. But, in order to do that, well, if you're on the rocks in some places, there may be a rush room. Those are essentially Hylian shrooms, but when you bake them into ingredients, they increase your movement speed. Stamina shrooms are the exact same way, but they increase your restore your stamina. I'm gonna go to the Shrine of Resurrection one more time, because it is easier to get there than it is flying the great distance, either on the glider or with anything. Well, I don't have the glider with me, so I can't glide over that way. But it is easier to go from there to where I want to go. To be clear, we are going to move on this way. You will respawn at that point in the shrine every time. You will not spawn farther back. You will not spawn farther to the opening. You will essentially be back inside the shrine. It is a safe haven for a moment. It is not for eternity. Every spawn point, for the most part, has some sort of safety barrier to a degree. Just something that keeps other enemies from coming in and getting you. That one essentially is that. There's a specific tower. Not going to say which. It is such a jerk. But in that game, you had a stamina wheel that would not upgrade. You could drink potions to make them better. But that's essentially what would happen. Off in the distance, you see, that is our second shrine we have. But if we go there, it's gonna damage us, isn't it? Well, maybe. I kind of spoiled it already. It will damage us in that sense. Ooh. 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 No, 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 no. Do not run away. Do not run away. Do not run away. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Ah! Damn it. Come back here. Come back here, swine! Dang it, he ran off. Oh, hang on. And now, come in, snipe you. Ah, dang it. Okay. At least I got one of you. Switch over to my throwing spear. I'm not going to be throwing my weapons because they are far too valuable to be doing that. Give me the Goblin Horn. Give me the seared steak. Thank you very much. Let's move on. If you'll see, I only took 1 point of damage the entire game. So far, at least. I am not going to be putting in graphics saying, hey, I have this much damage, this much... I don't know, but it's reasoning. The day mechanic in here... Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, he sees us. He blew his horn. You die! Thank you. If their weapon is on fire, it will do more damage! A Boko Spear! Very weak. Very weak. I am not kidding. It does the same amount of damage as a torch. But it is a thrusting weapon instead of a sword weapon. Or lance-based weapon, if you will. In that case. This is our third chest. Yes, I believe there is one more chest that we can get here on the island by defeating a camp of bokoblins. Come over here. And the amber. You can bust open these boxes by swinging a club-based weapon of sorts. You can swing it with a Boko club. You could swing it with this, that, and the other. I am going to try that, actually. Let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to drop this shield now. Drop the pot lid. Pick the Boko shield. Boom, 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 boom. It doesn't work. Maybe it's a metal. Yep, there we go. Baked apple roasted bass. That is a roasted Hylian bass, I believe. But if you roast fish over an open flame, it will, in fact, become food that you can eat later. It does restore more hearts than a standard. Can I pick up this butterfly? I believe there's one more you can pick up, but I'm not heading towards it. I'm instead heading for a nice hunting ground. Which, can I just climb down here, please? Ah! Yes, you do take damage from falling. Roasted bass and seared steaks are probably the best way to heal all the way. Pair that with a baked apple, and you heal from that kind of damage. Up here! We have ourselves a new kind of puzzle. By 100% completing the Great Plateau, I meant 100% completing the story segments of the Great Plateau. Did not mean we'd be getting everything. But I'd be doing everything in a sense. Picking that, putting it right there, completing the puzzle. This is a Korok! I'm not Hestu, but I can see you. I didn't know you could see Children of the Forest. Well, if you run into Hestu, please return this to him. It is a Korok seed! All my friends are hiding in lots of different places too. Don't be shy about poking your nose into suspicious places. Of course! Koroks are cute! They're fun! They're from Wind Waker! Yes! It is fun! Oh, you jerk! Gosh, dang it. Alright, well, falling too far can give you game over. There is fall damage in Zelda, like there always is. Why is it not continuing from the last save? There we go. Okay. I believe it was saving when it happened. It is really funny watching you fall from a cliff, go 30 billion meters, and then smack against the ground and instantly die. The game does save very often, so do not worry about losing a ton of progress if you die. You will probably only lose maybe a couple minutes worth. Cool. That ain't cool. I'm gonna take 2 of those and call my doctor in the morning. Really? I could do worse. I could do worse. I've never actually talked about this yet, but if you sit at campfires, you can pass time by sitting next to it. This does not restore your health, or change your stamina, or anything of that sort, but it does at least pass the time. I'm going to be hunting now, which means I'm going to want a good weapon for hunting. I am going to be using the throwing spear, the standard issue Boko bow, a Boko shield, and pretty much that's it. Where is it? I know there is a segment where a boar is resting down here. So you'll notice on the map, that X, if you look over it, it says RIP. It will always show you where you died last, so you can avoid that segment if you want to avoid it. I specifically have avoided it sometimes, but not always. In that case, it's really just a nice little tip letting you know, oh hey, you died here. You can do something there, but it would be recommended not to do that there. Turn around and I'll snipe you, thank you very much. Come on, buddy. There we go. There's a chest up there. I'm pretty sure you understand the rules by now. If you see a chest in a Bokoblin camp, there's probably going to be something inside it, and it's probably going to be somewhat okay. Pick up one of these. A sunset firefly. It is one of the few things that you will only be able to find. way I want. I'm going to try going around the other side, taking out that archer, and then making my way inward. There are 3 sleeping red bokoblins, so it's not that big a deal. I called them red bokoblins there for a second, but they're just bokoblins. The color comes into play when they are different colors other than red. I'm going to move... Whoa, 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 whoa. Get down, Link, get down. Okay. Right there. Boom. He is dead. Ding dong, the witch is dead. I'm going to drop this Bokobo. Come on. Don't do this to me. Okay. I want to drop this one because it is badly damaged. It will break. After a certain number of shots that you take, doesn't matter if they pierce anything, your bows will break. Shit! Shit, shit, shit. Come on. Alright. Pretty much done with this segment. There we go. There's the chest. There's not a lot more that we can do up here on the Great Plateau in terms of side stuff, so we will be getting back to the story pretty quickly. I will hop up here, grab this. Before you get pretty late in the game, you are given these 2 options. Those are very valuable later on in the game. You can always return to the Great Plateau and get them, or you can get them elsewhere in Hyrule Field, or wherever, Greater Hyrule, if you will. I do not want to go down there yet. I do want to take a look through my scope and see the wildlife. Oh, you jerks! You're not going to let me, are you? Alright, well there goes that. I'm going to grab your Bokoblin arm. These right here, the Stalkoblins, I believe? I am not quite sure what they are called in that regard. I don't want to go down there at all, if I can help it. Stalkoblins only come out at night, just like other Stalfos-based opponents. If you see the bees are angry, they're mad, they're angry! I just want to wait until they've left. They've dispersed. Okay, good. You do launch the courser bee honey in a direction whenever you shoot one down. I believe during the day, these bokoblins are always hunting a boar. So if there is a boar nearby, there's the boar. I'm going to kill that bokoblin there. If you see the little... My bokoblin arm has now broken! And I have obtained raw meat. You can do a few things with these archers on pedestals. You can shoot them down like I have been, or you can come up quickly and take them out that way. You can essentially do whatever you want. I am not your boss. I'm just your Let's Player. I am giving you hints, tricks, tips, but you play the game your own way. If you guys find other tips and tricks that you want to use later on, or you want me to use, please leave them in the comments down below. I will see if I can work them in any way I can. I will be doing every trick that I know of to some capacity. The Opal! Again, another one of these. I believe there's actually one more chest. Just one more chest that we have to take care of. But, from the boar, we got raw meat. Raw meat is especially helpful in terms of what we want to get in the long run. And in order to show for it, I am not going to like taking you out, so I'm not going to take you all out. But I am going to take your arrow, I'm going to break your body apart, and I'm going to instead teleport
to here. The Yabai Shrine.
Or Jabaish, Yabaish, I don't know. If I'm pronouncing it wrong, I seriously do not care. But I'm gonna pronounce it Yabaish. Because it seems kind of weird, in a way. Yeah, we go to the Yabaish Shrine. We got to blow stuff up at Yabaish Shrine. My gosh. You'll notice on the screen, it has it has a few things here. Whenever you're loading a new section, actually, I'm going to go ahead and travel back here one more time. The Korok seeds you have found and the rupees you currently have on you. There are other things it shows later on, but I will not be going into great detail right now. I'll go into great detail later. So we're going to leap up this way. And here is the final guardian that we have to take down. Waiting. Boosh! Alright, yay! All three taken down before I descend the plateau. That is awesome. And almost one of every part. That is not a bad roll. That is not a bad haul. Oh gosh. If you're wondering why the sun is up and the stall goblins are coming out, it is because we have not reached that hour of the morning that they do not consider to be night. We have reached that hour that they consider to be morning, but not considered actually, like, good morning, hello everybody. It is still considered dead of night even though the sun is coming up. Exact sunrise, exact sunset, it does not matter in those terms. It does matter in terms of the clock. If you'll notice up there, the shrine up there, there's a ledge above it. We'll want to get to that top ledge and then head down that way. That's my favorite way to get in. But there are other ways to get to the shrine from... I put a pin right there. Temple of Time. I'm not going to explain why just yet, but I will later. Let's go ahead. Bows I already have all stock. Okay. Where's the old man's cottage? Up here. The old man has a cooking cauldron. We're going to want to use that. As you can see, our inventory right now in the material department, we do have the raw meat, which is one of my favorite food scraps. No, not really. It is a fun food scrap to use. He does have a few stamina shrooms outside of his home. I am going to go ahead and... You can hold materials in your hand. So we're going to grab one of those, one of these, and one spicy pepper. If you were wondering, Hyrule Bass is the remaining ingredient from that list. That is why I had us pick up those fish when it came time to grab them. Here we are, spicy meat and seafood fry, a low-level cold resistance. We can use that to take care of the snowy area up this way. I do not want to. I instead want to sit by the fire until night. This allows us to pass the time to evening, where the old man will be sitting by the fire. We talk to him. Fancy that, so we meet again. What are you doing?
Your inventory, grab hold of your ingredients and toss them in. Try to consider how the ingredients will complement one another. You can even make a dish that increases your stamina. It's all about being creative and trying different things. Oh! And now I want to talk. If you're moved by any wild culinary inspirations, feel free to cook yourself a meal using that pot over there.
I've cooked something! Or I cooked something.
What is that? That looks just like my signature perfect dish, spicy meat and seafood fry. But how did you... Well, I suppose that's not important. Can I trouble you to share the recipe? Oh, of course, Hyrule Bass! How can I have forgotten? Well done! Now please, allow me to reward your culinary efforts with this warm doublet.
We get the warm doublet, the weakest out of all of the physical or sorry, it is a little better than the old shirt in that it gives us cold resistance, but it is still the weakest of the cold resistance based gear. It is worth it though, in terms of what we're doing next.
Suits you quite well.
As I put it on immediately. There we go. You can put it on immediately and talk to him after that, or you can put it on during that segment. I going to run, no! No means no, bokoblins! No means no! Ah, jeez. I'm not going to be fighting every enemy. Alright? I do not want to fight every enemy. I am reaching the 1.5 hour mark, and it looks like I am not quite finished with the Great Plateau. Don't worry, there is a better way to speedrun the entire segment with getting almost everything and still being, you know, fully ready, if you will. Whatever. Our goal is that shrine up there at the top of the mountain. If you are wondering, there are more spicy peppers around here if you do manage to use them, and you didn't make the spicy meat and seafood fry. This area, if you'll see where the needle has dipped on our temperature wheel, that gives us the temperature outside. If we switch to the old shirt, Link will now be freezing. It has dropped into the cold weather climate. What we want to do is we want to have at least one gear or eat something with cold resistance level 1. Compounding the effects will have greater work. You can only get cold resistance plus 2. If you wear something... wood. If you wear multiple things that have... or something along those... or cold resistance level 3 or something like that. It will not matter. Come on. Come on! I want to show this. If you one-shot their head, they will lose their head, and they will not be able to come back from it. It is fun to do that. It is fun to do that. Key swings. Thank you very much. Give me my arrow back. Thank you very much indeed. And we are going up this way. There are a couple of ways you can get around this river. You could use a Korok leaf over there to make the raft go this way. I prefer taking the trudge around the mountain. It's not necessarily needed. Over here, there is another campfire that was lit, but is no longer lit. If you do intend on lighting it, you can take a fire arrow and go boosh! Sit by the fire! Or not. But you see, our wheel is now out of that segment. We can switch to the old shirt and not be freezing cold. I instead don't want to do that. I want to continue on this way. The reasoning for that, I am independent. Now, we have a new enemy! Ice Choo-Choos! These are the white Choo-Choos, and they drop white Chew Jellies when defeated. And they explode in ice. The ice attack that they do in hitting you will freeze you. You will be essentially susceptible to cold at that point. Oh shoot, my Traveler's Sword broke. I should have paid attention to that. You first, and you after me. My Bogobo is now badly damaged. I've got many more where that came from. Grab those. Move on. So keys always drop key swings. Key eyeballs are a rarer material. White Chew Jelly is always dropped by a White Choo-Choo. It does depend on how big the Choo-Choo is as to how many they will drop. They can drop one at the smallest level, like this, to as many as 5 at the largest level. I have gotten a White Choo-Choo to drop a total of, I think, 5 at the most. Total of 9 in 2. That's the highest reward I have received so far. Guardians, buried everywhere. You can still search them. Does depend on how buried they are. Magnesis! On this one! I do want to do that, but I do not want to do it from this angle. I want to grab you over here. You will not like it at all. You will need cold resistance 2. And that little segment right down there is one of, if not the hardest ones to get, hardest Koroks to find. I will be back here later for that, but I will not be able to complete the Great Plateau getting every single Korok right now. I will story-wise, I will chest-wise, but not Koroks-wise. Or I will be able to do it chest-wise. That little Bokoblin encampment right there. There's not an unlockable chest over there, but there is a chest over there. I did not know that you spawned. Thank you very much. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and grab your arm. Thank you very much. You gave me a new weapon to fight with. Can't carry any more Bokobos. That's alright. I'll find more of you guys later. Don't worry. There are multiple ways of ascending this mountain. You do not have to do the way that I am. You could try getting stamina potions, stamina increasing food, stamina restoration items, here, there, and everywhere, and climb it that way. I am going to be able... the Knamet Shrine, or the Knamet Shrine. Somebody took inspiration from Dragon Ball and decided to arrange Namek into Knamet. I don't know. Maybe. Or maybe it's Knamet. Knamet. I'm gonna call it Knamet. Alright? Because it reminds me of Dragon Ball that way. I'm not very fond of Dragon Ball, but it's still fun. It's still fun. On the screen, remote bombs. The spherical bombs will roll downhill, whereas the cube-shaped bombs will not. Make sure to use the right bomb for the landscape. Regardless of what you have unlocked, you will receive hints from the main title screen there. To you who sets foot in the shrine, I am Knamet. In the name of the goddess Hylia, I offer this trial. The Cryonis Trial! The Knamet Shrine. There we go. Boom! And this is the third of the 4 rune locations that we have to get new awesome stuff from inside the shrines. Boosh! We have unlocked Cryonis. Create a pillar of ice from a water surface. Now. I am going to go ahead and do this to show that Amiibo is on the far end of the runes. Far end. I do not need to move to my map to change that. I am going to leave Amiibo off for right now, just letting you know. Once you get a certain distance into the Great Plateau, you can unlock Amiibo, but I have never found out where in there you can do that. There's one specific Amiibo you will not be able to unlock while you're on the Great Plateau. That is Standard Link from the Smash Brothers line. I will explain why when we get to the Amiibo segment later on down the road. Another Guardian. Oh, jeez. I timed that wrong. I was close enough! Alright. My Bokoblin arm is badly damaged. Give me your screws! There are a few things you can do. With Cryonis, it essentially creates an ice pillar for you to work with. You can only have 3 out at a time. If you want to... Oh, Traveler Spear. Oh, okay. I thought I was full on inventory space. I don't want to do that, because I want to continue up the platform. Boom. I've gotten the treasure chest in the area. There's nothing else to grab. The shrine has a chest on its logo, and we're moving in. We begin to the next segment. Receiving the shrine or the spirit orb.
Your resourcefulness in overcoming this trial speaks to the promise of a hero. In the name of the goddess Hylia, I bestow upon you this spirit orb.
I do not know why I'm changing my voice on this too much. I need to say it all ooh, like that. After the first time you feel the spirit orb, Link's expression changes to this new one. He does not have that bad, oh, my granddaddy, like that.
May the goddess smile upon you! Spooky, scary skeletons and mummified inside.
Oh well. You can, in fact, go over here. There's a chest in the water. And try it out. Oh boy, I almost drowned. You jump in the water, it will freeze your buns off. And your buns will not come back to the light. If you want to try this, you can run and jump. Make that. Kick open the chest, and we get an opal. I've been getting a lot of these. Just to let you know, you can climb up the ice. That is very helpful. It's helped me a few times. Oh boy. Okay. These bokoblins, if you decided to take the path, they would roll boulders down at you. I am going to teach them a lesson by using that. Going to use a bomb. Throw it. Boosh! That damaged you. I'm going to throw the cube bomb. I'm going to stay here for a moment. Boosh. That has killed 2 of you, and I killed the next one with my... Aw, you jerk! Okay. If you throw a badly damaged weapon, boosh! It will break... Before we head over to the next segment, at the top of that cliff, there's one thing. If you are in the air, high in the air, and you hold ZL and A at the same time, or you can hit all 4 buttons together, or all 3 buttons together. Boosh! You shield surf! You could, in turn, hold ZL, jump, and then press A, but it is not as good getting a running start. You can run, and then switch to those buttons right there. Be careful. When you jump, you want to make sure that you are after you jump, you then want to press A while you are holding the shield. It is both at the same time. This little Korok segment is another way to find Koroks. It's a little ring, and you put a rock in the opening space. There are multiples of these around the area. Yahaha! You found me! Take this! Bye-bye! If you talk to them later, they will say Twee-hee, Yahaha, or another Korok-based saying. I do not remember all of them. If you head up here, and I believe you go this way. I am not sure how much of this I need to climb to get up here. I do not want to go to the very top. Nice segment down here. Okay, it's farther this way. There will be a segment over here where you can essentially drop to the... Well, yep, there's stamina. Alright. Now. There are some bokoblins down there. Hope you don't mind if I have my friend drop in on you. Aw, you're no fun. Let me try this friend. That one's got a little crush on ya. Alright, I'm done with puns. Oh gosh, I took explosion damage. That's not good. Bokoblin Horn, Bokoblin Fang, Vocal Club, a campfire, no roast! Yeah, it's not a big deal. Okay. What we want to do is we want to get to the other side of this segment. There are Bokoblins over there that you can hunt, if you will. But I am instead going to go over this way, as far as I can, down here. I think I went too far. Oh, yeah. I think I gotta climb the rest of the way. Dang it. Alright. I do want to show this off. If you're on an incline that is greater than 70 degrees, or sorry, less than 70 degrees, like this right here, you can hit the B button and regain your stamina. Yeah. Okay, good. Climbing down, you do have a few freebies that you can take care of. We are now at the Owa Dame Shrine. I believe so. I'm not sure what the proper name for it is, but we'll go ahead and continue. Or the proper pronunciation for the name is. And now this is our 4th shrine. Whoa. We enter. Fishing tip. If you use X to dash while swimming, you can get close to a school of fish before they swim away. You saw me pressing X while I was fishing earlier today. It's pretty easy to do that. Alright, Link. To you who sets foot in the shrine, I am Owa Dame. In the name of the goddess Hylia, I offer the Stasis Trial. Now, the Stasis Trial is kind of fun. It is not one that a lot of people would say is their favorite of the 4, but a few people do like it here and there. It is very divided in terms of who likes it, who doesn't. I haven't gone into the community to see how well people like it, how well people don't. But in terms of the Facebook group, Hyrule Warriors, a group that I'm a part of, it is by invite only. They like this because of its Stasis Rune. The Stasis Rune, when upgraded later, is a lot better than it is now. The current fully maxed in terms of that, though. I'm going to pause that ball there. And let it roll. Let it roll, let it roll, let it roll. There's a treasure chest up there. I do want to stop this boulder right there. And then move up this way. It does not stop it from moving entirely. But it does give me access to this. I'm going to go ahead and drop that this shield right here, but equip this one. Boom, boom. Give me this shield, the Traveler's Shield. It is a sturdier shield made by an adventurer. It is very fun. And we do want to drop a weapon of some sort over here. Instead am going to drop the Traveler Spear. It is not very good. It's not a very good weapon, in a sense. We're going to instead pick up the Iron Sledgehammer. Whenever you see this, you are essentially going to need it to some degree. It's in some way, shape, or form. Or it's just there for design setup. If you use stasis, you can hit it you can hit something multiple times in order to knock it away. I hit it with my bow and arrow at the last second. It did drop my arrow again. You can do that for certain trial puzzles. It does help. Here we are. We're going to examine you. Give me your weapon! Spirit Orb. Ooh. That's a more fitting voice. Spirit Orb! May the goddess smile upon you. This is our 4th time seeing it, so I'm going to skip the last half of that segment. Scope tip. When you find an object or a place of interest while looking through your scope, you press a pin, put a pin on your map in that location so you won't forget about it. You can change those to stamps, and you can remove pins entirely. Don't forget that you can do this. Whoa! It's Santa Claus! Wherever you complete your journey, he will come to the last shrine where you are at. I was at this shrine last, so he glides into this one. There is one up there that I finished on my first playthrough, and he came flying in over there. A friend of mine went to the bomb trial last, and he flew in over there. With this, you now have acquired all the spirit orbs from the shrines on this plateau. Ho ho ho! Extraordinary! That means it is finally time. Link, it is finally time for me to tell you everything. But first, imagine an X on your map with the 4 shrines as the endpoints. Find the spot where those lines intersect. I shall await for you there. Do you understand? Where 2 lines connecting the shrines would cross? There, I will be waiting. What he is talking about? You can see in your adventure log is connecting the Kanamet Shrine to the Yabai Shrine and the Omen Au Shrine with the Owa Daim Shrine. You get the Temple of Resurrection. And now, we're in the Shrine of Resurrection. This, I believe, is our last time coming here in our Let's Play. I do not need to come here ever again. Instead, pop goes the weasel. I'm just gonna pop out of here and move on. You could walk back down the mountain, you could shield surf back down the mountain, you could do this, you could do that. I choose, whenever I play, to teleport to the Shrine of Resurrection from wherever I am, unless I'm at the bomb trial segment. I run over here. Because, top of here, you can see there's a little sword in a pedestal. One might think, oh, the Master Sword! Which backed another weapon that I need to get space for. Drop the club. And get a rusty broadsword. This, in fact, is interesting. Rusty weapons are easy to obtain. So I do want to call attention to that, at least at the moment. There is one more thing I want to draw attention to while I have the opportunity. If you take a remote bomb and place it here, move out of the way, explode that, come in here, there is a chest. You open the chest, and there is an opal. You come up here, you climb however you wish, whatever. Climb back up this way, you'll find we are at the Temple of Time. I am not going to be using the front entrance. I am going to be instead climbing to the top. Oh man, I shouldn't have had that soda beforehand. I do not want to battle you. I instead want to climb up here. There's a long way. It is a long way up. I know you're going to be throwing rocks. Just stop. Okay? No means no. Okay, it doesn't look like I'm falling. Good. What I want to do is I want to get to the very top of this segment. Top of the Temple of Time. And a lot of people are wondering, Temple of Time, well, it's decaying. It's not very timely. Well, to that I say, it's withstood the... Come in this window, drop down.
Well done there, young one. Now then, the time has come to show you who I truly am. I was King Rome Bosphoramos Hyrule. I was the last leader of Hyrule. A kingdom which no longer exists. The Great Calamity was merciless. It devastated everything in its path, lo, a century ago. It was then that my life was taken away from me. And since that time, here I have remained in spirit form. I did not think it wise to overwhelm you while your memory was still fragile. So rather than that, I thought it best to assume a temporary form. Forgive me. I think you are now ready. Ready to hear what happened 100 years ago. To know Calamity Ganon's true form, one must know the story from an age long past. The Demon King was born into this kingdom, but his transformation... The signs of a resurrection of Calamity Ganon are clear, and the power to oppose it lies dormant beneath the ground. We decided to heed the advice and began excavating large areas of land. It wasn't long before we discovered several ancient relics made by the hands of our distant ancestors. These relics, the divine beasts, were giant machines piloted by warriors. We also found the Guardians, an army of mechanical soldiers who fought autonomously. This coincided with ancient legends, oft repeated throughout our land. 100 years ago, there was a princess set to inherit a sacred power, and a skilled knight at her side. It was clear that we must follow our ancestors' path. We selected 4 skilled individuals from across Hyrule and tasked them with the duty of piloting the divine beasts. With the princess as their commander, we dubbed these pilots champions, a name that would solidify their unique bond. The princess, her appointed knight, and the rest of the champions were on the brink of sealing away Ganon. But nay. Ganon was cunning, and he responded with a plan beyond our imagining. He appeared from deep below Hyrule Castle, seized control of the Guardians and the divine beasts, and turned against us. The champions lost their lives, those residing in the castle as well. The appointed knight, bravely collapsed while defending the princess. And thus, the kingdom of Hyrule was devastated absolutely by Calamity Ganon. However, the princess survived to face Ganon alone.
Link, you are our final hope. The fate...
And the courageous knight who protected her right up to the very end. That knight was none other than you, Link. You fought valiantly when your fate took an unfortunate turn. And then, you were taken to the Shrine of Resurrection. Here you now stand, revitalized 100 years later. The words of guidance you have been hearing since your awakening are from Princess Zelda herself. Even now, as she works to restrain Ganon from within Hyrule Castle, she calls out for your help. However, my daughter's power will soon be exhausted. Once that happens, Ganon will freely regenerate himself, and nothing will stop him from consuming our land. And do whatever it takes to annihilate Ganon. Somehow, Ganon has maintained control over all 4 divine beasts, as well as those guardians swarming around Hyrule Castle. I believe it would be quite reckless for you to head directly to the castle at this point. I suggest that you make your way east out to one of the villages in the wilderness. Follow the road out to Kakariko village. There you will find the Elder Impa. She will tell you more about the path that lies ahead. Consult the map on your Sheikah slate for the precise location of Kakariko village. Make your way past the twin summits of the dueling peaks. From there, follow the road as it proceeds north.
Go on. Oh boy. Go on. Here's the paraglider, just as promised.
We got the paraglider. It allows you to sail through the sky. Press X while you're in there to use it. The isolated plateau complete. With that, you should be able to safely fly off the cliffs surrounding the area. And I think that's it. Told you everything I can.
Link, we must save Hyrule.
We now have two objectives, destroy Ganon and seek out Impa. I didn't. It automatically puts you at destroy Ganon. For those of you who want to speedrun the game, you can, in fact, do that. For those of you who want to do 100% of the game, it is suggested that you... the red area, at least, that was right over here. Now that I am ready... Time to take you down! Die! Give me your club! Oh, I can't take any more of those. Okay. Well, in that case, just give me an acorn to eat. Alright. If you crack open these pots, you may find arrows. Bomb arrows included. But you have to discover them first. Here we go. The way I organize things is by the in-game way of doing so. You organize them by type of weapon. For example, sword-based weapons, axe-based weapons, or sorry, one-handed weapon, two-handed weapon, and then thrusting weapons. That's essentially how they're sorted. So I'm now going to go up to the goddess statue and pray. If you would pray before, it would do nothing. Now that we have 4 spirit orbs, you a 4th heart container or a 1/5 of a stamina wheel. I am going to go with the stamina vessel, as most people would like to do so. On my first playthrough, I went through the first heart piece and alternated until I had a full stamina wheel, and then continued with heart pieces from then on out. You do not have to go this way. It is not recommended that you listen to other people in terms of that. Both are good, both are helpful, and both work. It does not matter what you choose. Speedrunners, it is recommended that you choose this direction. If we head towards the... oh, well, aside from that, there's one other locked chest that we can grab. I'm going to go ahead and grab this chest here, because I forgot that this one gives you Hylian trousers. These can be bought later. You do not have to get them here. But Hylian trousers are one of the few things on the Great Plateau that are better than the old trousers. And by one of the few things that are better than the old trousers, everything's better than the old trousers. The old trousers do nothing. As soon as you get better equipment and you don't want to use those, you can sell them. It's not that big a deal. As a matter of fact, I would recommend that you sell them at this point. When you get to a shop, of course. But sell those when you get the chance. It'll give you your first segment of rupee that you do not have to use. Here, we're going to go ahead and take you out and get my arrow back. Boom, arrow. Well, goblin horns are plentiful now. We have 38 bokoblin horns, 23 of the fangs. Not that big a deal. We have a partially chopped tree, not a completely chopped tree. Let's go ahead and harvest that. Boosh! I didn't go over thrusting weapons entirely. When it comes down to their charge attack... Do I have one? I don't. When it comes down to their charge attack, I will wait for it and show you guys that when it gets to that point, when we get to that point. But, they do multiple thrusts in a row. The longer you charge, the more thrusts there are. It's just that kind of deal. It's very basic, if you will. The thrusting weapons, essentially, they're okay. They're not the best. Some of them are better than others. And they are usually the weaker of the weapons, but they are the faster weapons overall. Over here we have another Bokoblin camp. We're probably going to get this right as the sun is about to set in-game. So I'm going to one-shot you. Boosh. Thank you very much. While you're on the Great Plateau, while you're on the Great Plateau, within the first 2 hours at least, they will not respawn at all whatsoever. None of the enemies will. So, feel free to wail on them however you wish. Alright, now that I've defeated everybody, with most of the other stuff, it will happen to some degree. Any other? No. Okay. No other goodies. Let's go ahead and just get this chest and head down to the standard high roll. Traveler sword. Inventory full! I'll drop this then. I am going to be equipping the Bokoblin arm because I find it's hysterical the way that it's grasping at you for life. There's one more thing we need. Nope, that's not it. I was wondering where it would be. We'll find it later. We'll find one later. You know what? I think that's a great. I think this is a great saving point. Let's go ahead to the Great Plateau Tower. We're gonna make a stop here. This is every single bit of the Great Plateau. 100% done. Except for a couple of things. Any other treasure chests in there, not locked by any means whatsoever. At least I don't believe they are. If there are any other chests that I can get later, I will get after a period of time. I will not disclose when, but I will get them later. Right now, current equipment, 5 attack, 4 bow, 3 shield, 4 armor. We have a full page and a quarter of inventory space. Completely filled, that is. We have a total of 4 different items cooked. We have the glider. We have the we have 2 Korok seeds. We have a Sheikah slate, and we're ready to save. That is all the progress I am going to be doing here. Alright. I'm going to be marking 2 towers. One right here. And I believe there is one right there. Boosh. Where is that? No, that's not the one that I wanted to take care of. Okay. So this tower right here is our next destination. Next time on Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, we're going to be gliding off of the Great Plateau. We're going to be heading down into the valley and heading for our destination, the second tower. This has been Mindsight Games. My name is N-Sight, and you've probably had a pretty good time. Ugh, jeez. Why can I never figure out an outro for this? I'm gonna wing it. Whatever.